So if you are a buyer looking for a waterfront property, I would like to propose to you that you use a framework that allows you to score every property that you look at that is on water based on the things you cannot change about that property. I have come up with an acronym that will help you do that scoring. So the first thing in the acronym is, first of all, it's called PAWLOST, and the P in PAWLOST stands for privacy. Most people want privacy at the lake because they don't have it at home. And so you want to look at what are the features that will give you privacy. Well, for one thing, trees. Trees with lots of leaves will give you tons of privacy. The width of the property that will be given in the measurements on the feature sheet of the listing you're going to look at will give you a sense of how much privacy you're going to have from your neighbors on either side. I have 310 feet of waterfront. I don't see my neighbors unless I want to. The A in PAWLOST stands for accessibility. Is it accessible by road, or do you have to take a boat to get to it? If it's accessible by road, can you go there in the winter? Or is it just a 3-season kind of place to go to? Also, once you get there, how easy is it to get from the building, the residence, to the waterfront? That's where your family and you are going to want to be. Make sure it's easy for everyone in the family to get there. By the way, kids are basically goats, so they will find a way to get to the waterfront. It's grandparents you may want to be concerned about. The access for them should be safe and enjoyable. The W in PAWLOST stands for waterfront, and I recommend that everybody who finds a waterfront property they love has to stand in the waterfront. And if you sink in muck up to your knees, that property probably is not for you. You want a property that will give you what your family needs. So whether you want a sandy beach or you want deep water entry, determine that and look for that. So we're looking at privacy, accessibility, the waterfront. Next one is the lake. Most people have an idea whether they want to be on a large lake, a medium-sized lake, or a small lake. Small lakes have their advantages. For the most part, residents on a small lake don't want noise. So they've all agreed that they're not going to have anything but electric motors on their fishing boats. There's not a lot of boating that's done on a small lake, but generally you can only get on that lake if you own on the lake. There's no public access, so that is a built-in plus for a lot of people on small lakes. Medium-sized lakes and larger lakes, of course, will allow you to do whatever kind of boating that you want. There probably is good fishing too, but check that out with the realtor you're using before you make an investment in a property like that, if fishing is important to you. The O in PAWLOST stands for other factors that might influence the value of a waterfront property. So these factors can be plus or minus. And my suggestion is, if you are facing Crown land, back onto Crown land, have Crown land beside you, that's the ultimate plus. If you have a negative, like you are next to a boat launch, a public boat launch, while it won't be too busy most of the year, 2 times in the year it's going to be busy. That is when boats are going in and when they're coming out in the fall. So be aware of that. Also, you may not want to be right next to a marina. A marina is going to be busy, it may be noisy, but there definitely is going to be a lot of boat traffic, and at all hours of the day. Another thing that you might be concerned about, and that is look around the landscape. In my area, the large hydro towers come through the area, and some cottages have these great huge metal towers in their backyard. This is not a plus if you are buying, because think about it, when you're selling, that will be a problem. So we've got privacy, accessibility, the waterfront, the lake, other factors. We come to the big one now, sun. Where is the sun when you want to be out on the lake? Most people want either west facing so that they have beautiful sunsets, or they want it to be south facing so they have sun day long. Very few people are looking for morning sunrise. There are a few morning people out there that love it, and they also enjoy the shade in the afternoon. My suggestion is, knowing what your family wants, go to that property 2 or 3 times before you make an offer so you know where the sun is when you want to be outside. The last point is travel time. The T stands for the travel time that it takes you to get from the cottage to home and home to the cottage. My suggestion is that you take all of the criteria in PAWLOST and score it out of 10 for your family and your needs. What I do know is that if it doesn't score at least 8 out of 10, that property is not for you. There's no need to go into the cottage if the landscape of the lot doesn't meet 8 out of 10. You can go on and keep on a tour and find the right property for you, but know that this PAWLOST score can be the fastest way to discover whether a waterfront lot is for you.